2026 Seattle Seahawks will go down as one of the most memorable teams in NFL history. They got revenge after a heartbreaking Super Bowl loss. They revived the career of Sam Darnold, and against all odds, they completed one of the craziest rebuilds the league has ever seen. The last decade of Seattle Seahawks football has been absolutely absurd. From playoff miracles to Super Bowl heartbreaks to constantly reassembling their roster year after year. It's been a roller coaster of highs and lows. 11 years ago, after the Seahawks' heartbreaking Super Bowl loss, the core of that team was pretty much gone. The Legion of Boom would fall, Marshawn Lynch would leave, and what remained of the Seahawks was simply a shadow of the dominant team from just a year before. Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll were still in Seattle, but they never achieved the same success they did earlier in Wilson's career, and for the next 7 years, Seattle couldn't reach the heights that they reached in 2013 and 2014. After Russell Wilson left in 2022, the Seahawks signed veteran quarterback Geno Smith. Expectations were low. Most predicted Seattle would finish near the bottom of the NFL, and some even thought that they would tank for a new quarterback to start a full rebuild. Instead, the team remained competitive over the next 3 years with Geno Smith and even hired a new head coach, Mike Macdonald, to usher in a new era. By 2025, the Seahawks still hadn't drafted a new quarterback and hadn't moved on from the core players they had developed over the previous 3 seasons. So what did Seattle do next? Even though they didn't have a young player to be the next answer at quarterback, they parted ways with Geno Smith and acquired Sam Darnold. Alongside Darnold, the Seahawks drafted talented young defensive players like Nick Emmanwori and signed key veteran players like Cooper Kupp. Even with these moves, fans were still left confused. Seattle was seen as a team that might either blow everything up or make aggressive moves to contend. Instead, they did neither of these things. They signed solid pieces, but no one expected Sam Darnold to lead this team very far, considering his track record in the league. Seattle was seen to have remained in an awkward position of mediocrity, as evident by their preseason Super Bowl odds, which ranked them 19th in the NFL. But what happened in 2025 will go down as one of the craziest seasons in NFL history. Seattle simply dominated. Sam Darnold was playing outstanding football. Jackson Smith-Njigba emerged as the best wide receiver in the NFL. The defense became one of the scariest units in the entire league, and the Seahawks looked like the most complete team in the whole NFL. But even going into the playoffs, concerns remained for Seattle. Sam Darnold had led the NFL in turnovers during the regular season, and the few games the Seahawks lost were largely due to these costly mistakes. Analysts feared these tendencies would carry into the postseason, putting Seattle at risk. But what happened instead was unbelievable. Absolutely perfect quarterback play from a guy who was previously seen as a choker in big moments. Against the 49ers and Patriots, Darnold just needed to be a game manager, and that's exactly what he did. But when the team needed him to make big plays, he absolutely delivered, mostly in big moments against the Rams and in big moments in the Super Bowl as well. With Sam Darnold shutting down the only real criticism of this Seahawks team, it was pretty much inevitable. Seattle was going to make it all the way, and no one was going to stop them. This wasn't just some underdog team catching fire at the right time. This was a complete team who dominated the postseason in a way that not many people expected. Just 2 years ago, the idea of winning the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold, let alone a playoff game, seemed impossible. Seattle making a Super Bowl run without drafting a young star quarterback and without a complete roster overhaul seemed unimaginable. But to the surprise of many, Seattle drafted well and built around a quarterback who was the answer all along. The team combined veteran talent like Cooper Kupp, Sam Darnold, and Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker with young stars like Nick Emmanwori and Jackson Smith-Njigba, who were just as important in Seattle's success this year. So this unreal rebuild from Seattle was no accident. They weren't a team that remained in mediocrity the way a lot of people expected. Instead, they had the perfect mix of just about everything to build a Super Bowl contending team, and in many ways, they mirrored their successful formula from 2013. An elite defense, a quarterback who took care of the ball in big moments, and a running back capable of taking over games. And on top of all of this, the 2026 Seahawks even had an elite special teams unit and elite number 1 wide receiver, which they didn't have in 2013. So Seattle has truly laid down the blueprint for how to complete a rebuild. They obviously got lucky in some ways, but you don't always have to draft a young quarterback, wait for his development, and break the bank to pay him just to win a Super Bowl. We saw it with Philadelphia last year, and we've seen it again with Seattle. An elite defense and opportunistic offense is what creates sustained dominance throughout a whole season, and it's what makes a team true contenders. And Seattle has completely perfected this type of dominance in 2026. And honestly, what made Seattle even more scary was that their offense wasn't just efficient and opportunistic. It was just as scary as their defense for much of the year. When the year first started, not many people realized the true potential this team had on both sides of the ball. But the Seahawks put together one of the most stunning single-season campaigns in NFL history, and the result of it was a Super Bowl victory in the name of revenge, redemption, and complete dominance. But that's going to do it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hype this video as well. Let me know your thoughts about Super Bowl 60 and overall what the Seahawks were able to accomplish this season in the comment section below. That's going to do it for this one, and I'll see you all in the next video.